We are all in one house called the Kenyan Constitution and the sovereignty of the people. Whatever semantics we give it, at the end of the day, whether we have to wait for the Senate to interrogate this matter, whether the Senate would be asking, should the Deputy President have been subjected to questions in Parliament before the question was put to the public, you know, for public participation, or the Deputy President should have been tried in the National Assembly first, then the question carried to the people.
Because he said on TV he was not given a chance to be heard. Yeah,
and then here you hear members of Parliament are saying he should not have come on air on Sunday evening, I believe.
Monday.
That was Monday in the evening, before the next day when he was being crucified, quote unquote. So what comes first? I mean, this is what the courts will be interested in. And like the honorable member here is saying, it is true that this is a learning process, and my colleague is saying it's a moving target. It is true. The question of public participation, by the way, is not young in this country. The only problem is that the members of Parliament have not enacted the specific law to control, you know, to guide rather the public participation. But what comes first will be considered. All I'm saying is that in the Senate must exhibit the maturity they have shown in the Kericho impeachment today. So that in as much as this is a political contest really, you must remember that you have Kenyans that you are carrying the country on your shoulders. You can drop it down or actually take it to a safe place. You can decide, okay, the head of state may not like Gachuga, and many politicians don't like Gachuga, but the people who finally elected him are 7+ million. He may have his own dirty, you know, linen. He may have his own problems. What are we going to do with the Kenyans who actually voted for him and still like him? So that is, for me, the main issue. It's not a question of politicians have ganged up and it's a political process and they are going to annihilate him in the Senate. That's not the question here. And by the way, the Senate, again, we all agree, is a trial chamber.
Okay.
So the question of it's political, it's not a slide downwards the hill, down the hill. It is inquisitive, you know, approach. We are putting this to the Deputy President. What is his answer? We are putting this other one. What is? Then the Senate should be asked, each member, are you voting from 1 to 11? Which one are you agreeing with? You could be surprised that 6 charges might be proved, but not that all the 47 or 67 members of the Senate are actually proving that. So the guy might actually get off the hook.
In terms of precedents, when you look at, you know, how